Good morning. Oh, that's very loud. Okay. Good morning at a more appropriate volume. Welcome to the First Parish in Framingham. First Parish is a welcoming congregation, so whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We welcome you if it's your first time joining us or if First Parish has been your home for many decades. And we welcome you however you're joining, whether you are here in the meeting house with us, or joining us online, or watching after the fact. My name is Kevin Stern. I use they, them pronouns. I am on the Board of Associates, and this morning I'm serving as your worship associate. Please be sure to read the announcements in your order of service. And after the service, join us for a social time across the courtyard over in Scott Hall. There are many happenings occurring after church, including a presentation on the future of our ministry here. Please turn your phones and other electronic devices to their worship setting. While beeps and buzzes can be distracting, we welcome your human noises, especially your singing and your laughter, so please join in. This is a service for all ages, and we welcome your gentle movements and participation. Since 1701, people have gathered as this community to rest or recharge, to be challenged or affirmed. These people are like you. You are welcome here, maybe just for the next hour, but we hope for longer. And we're very happy to have you here.
Come, beloveds, enter into this space made holy by our presence. Enter into this hour made holy by our intention. In this new year, filled with old and ongoing troubles, let us open ourselves to the possibility of the future. May we learn from the past, and may we learn from the present in order to build a better future for us all. Let us enter in, and let us worship together.
The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian-Universalism. We kindle the flame of our faith in the cup of our covenant with these words from the book In the Interim, Strategies for Interim Ministers and Congregations. This is from the chapter Coming to Terms with History. Lauren Mead from the Alban Institute writes in Critical Moment of Ministry, A Change of Pastors. Every congregation lives in dialogue with its past. Every congregation is strengthened immeasurably by its history, but every congregation has also been deeply wounded by its past. It is both the heir and the victim of its story. Effective transition ministry begins with a long look in the rearview mirror, where we must read the admonition, objects may be closer than they appear. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our first hymn this morning, number 1003 in the Teal hymnal, Where Do We Come From?
And I'm going to make a suggestion since it's very short. Dean, do you love it when I do these last minute things? I'm sure you do. We're going to sing it through together all the way one time, and then just pick the part that you like best and sing that, or feel free to move around on the different parts. Does that work? Okay, so all the way through once, and then pick a part you like, and we'll sing it maybe 2 more times.
I invite you to stay standing as we sing and speak our affirmations. The words are in your order of service. We are going to continue our practice of singing in both English and Portuguese. So I think we'll be singing this, is it 3 times? Through English?
No, just twice. English
Just twice.
and then Portuguese.
Or in English and then Portuguese. And new this week, we have a special insert that has the notes lined up with the words to help line everything up. So we'll start with English, then Portuguese, and then we will speak our affirmation in whatever language you choose.
Story first, right?
I don't know which is next.
Story.
Oh, I'm wrong.
I have a story for you today that comes from southern India. It's a folk tale, and this is a retelling of that folk tale. Once there was a guru. Who knows what a guru is? What's a guru? I can't define it, but I know what it is. Who can say what a guru is? A spiritual leader and teacher, a wise spiritual leader and teacher. Okay. So we all know what, we're clear on that. There was a guru who meditated all the time and became so good at meditating that he started to be able to see into the future. Who here would like to see into the future? I see a lot. Okay, some yes, and some no. Well, let's find out what happens. People would come from all over to see the guru, and they'd ask him what their future was going to be, and this made him a little bit uncomfortable. And so he'd just say, live a good life. Go and live a good life. It made him uncomfortable because he thought, sometimes knowing what's going to happen in the future is not always a good thing. In fact, he had looked into his own future, and he found out that in his next life, he was destined to come back as a pig. Who can make some pig noises? Yeah, there's some good pig noises coming over here. Okay. A pig, he thought pigs are filthy. But people, I heard no, they're not, but people think they're filthy, right? Pigs are filthy, and he thought, but I try to live it must have been something I did in a past life. This must be because of something I did in a past life. This must be punishment. And he was very uncomfortable with this. And he sat with it for a while. And finally, he called his most trusted disciple. Come here. I have to tell you what I know. I've found out that in my next life, I'm destined to return as a pig. And his disciple's chin fell to the floor. Can I see you all do your best? It's pretty good, okay. And the guru said, no, it must have been from something in a past life, but I know the solution.
It seems like no face doors.
No face, okay. So he said, the solution is, as soon as I'm born again as a pig, I need you to kill me. What? And his disciple had the same reaction you did. What? He said, no, it's fine. No, it's fine, because then I'll just pass through that life and I'll go to the next one, and then I won't have to live my life as a pig. So, and it's fine. Now the disciple said, I've never harmed anyone. I've never harmed any living thing. I can't do that. He said, no, it's fine. And he said that thing again, that some people, pigs are unclean. And so it's not a problem to kill a pig. He said, and I'll have the same birthmark on my head that I have now. He had a birthmark on his head. So you go and find me and kill me, and it will all be fine. And the disciple loved the guru, and so he finally agreed, but he was not very comfortable with this idea. Well, the guru was quite old, and so it wasn't very long after this that he finally became ill and died. And so after the funeral, the disciple dutifully started visiting all the farms around. Oh, there are a lot of animals on these farms. You have to be very careful where you step. And where there are a lot of animals, there are unusual odors if you're not used to them. Oh. But he went and he found a sow that had just given birth to 21 piglets. 20, can you imagine? Can you imagine? 21 piglets. And sure enough, there was one with the same birthmark on its head. And so he picked up that little piglet, and it was squirming, and he held it to, and he was about to grab his knife, and he heard a little squeaky voice said, "Wait, no!"
was the piglet. I know I told you in my last life you should kill me, but I was wrong. A pig's life is wonderful. I get to roll in all that soft, squishy mud. It feels so cool on my skin. And my mother is so nice and warm, and her milk is so wonderful. I'm very happy. Whew. The disciple was very relieved, and he put his guru master back down with its mother so he could live out his new life as a pig. And he went on his way, and he went down to the river to wash off. There was quite a lot of mud. All the mud, and as he did, he thought to himself, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that you can know the future and not understand it at all? Today, we're going to send the children and teachers on their way singing Go Now in Peace, number 413. Next week, we're going to try something new, a new life. So be prepared to learn a new song next week. You excited? Yeah. Okay. But for today, we're going to sing 2 verses of Go Now in Peace. This is the time that we set aside to share the prayers of our community, our joys, our sorrows, our thanksgivings. You can submit them online, or you may write them in this book that generally resides in the rear of the sanctuary. We have several prayers this morning. First, I want to lift up Renee Good and all those people who have been murdered by ICE in the last year. There are really too many to name. I will lift up Renee Good because she was just driving away. And may we hold her family in our prayers. Donna is thinking of a friend and former Red Cross colleague who suddenly passed away on Friday. We hold the family and loved ones in our prayers. Marianne is saddened at the passing of her cousin last week from complications of Parkinson's and dementia. And we hold them in our prayers. Jim H. shares that an extended family member is failing and should be in hospice and is needlessly suffering. Our prayers go out to the one who is suffering and to their family. We share our burdens
that our own load may be lifted a little and we may share the loads of others. Will you join me in singing, There is a Love? There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. We share also our joys and thanksgivings, for we pray that they will lift all hearts, if even only a little bit. Jim H. shares that Emiliano is 6 years old today. Happy birthday, Emmy. Rebecca C. shares that William is competing at the Junior Olympics this weekend in Kansas City, and Abigail was promoted to point shoes this week. It's a big week. And David D. shares that in 2025, he was fixing the things, the clock, the e-bike, me, he says, and now in 2026, I am asking questions. What a good thing to do this year. And we light one more candle for all those prayers that remain deep in the silence of our hearts. Let us sing There is a Love one more time, this time with we. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. I invite you into a minute of silence, where you may pray, meditate, and consider all of these things quietly. Beloveds, I invite you to pray with me now, however you understand prayer to be. Holy One, whose other name is love, you have heard the prayers on our lips, and you know the prayers that we have not yet been able to give voice to. Help us to bring comfort to the grieving. Help us to hold gently those at the end of life. Help us to turn our rage into action. And help us also not to lose sight of the joys, large and small, in our own lives and in the lives of those we love. May they remind us of why we want to build a better world together. Help us to be the divine in action as we work to build the beloved community together. We pray in the name of all that is holy. Amen. And why don't we sing one more verse of There Is a Love, us and we. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in His love.
Our reading this morning is taken from Bless the Imperfect, Meditations for Congregational Leaders. This is Let the Wrong Ones In by the Reverend Dr. Susan Ritchie. Reverend Dr. Ritchie is a professor at Methodist Theological Seminary in Ohio. She has served on the UUA Board of Directors, and she also serves as a parish minister in Ohio. This is Let the Wrong Ones In. We often speak of the mantle of leadership as involving an inheritance from the past. We sing that what they dreamed to be ours to do, and speak of torches given to our temporary care as they travel from the past to the future. Yet, in a progressive religious tradition, this is especially challenging. Most of our personal identities and theologies would shock our religious ancestors. They did not dream us, except in their worst nightmares. So who did? What legacy can be invoked to sound an authentic note for progressive leadership? Somewhere along the line, someone left this tradition open for me. Someone invited me in. Someone made the way for me, even though there is no equivalent for me in our forebears' imagination. And when things have been bad, when I have been bad, this tradition has carried me around in my sorry little basket and given me over and over again the invitation to relationship, the invitation to be human as I dare. When I am privileged to lead, I feel the power of this invitation behind me. But who issued it? In the early days of American Congregationalism, membership in the church was tightly controlled. The covenant of membership was restricted to the saints, those who were destined for heaven and who could prove it before a parsimonious clergy and a small number of pious church members. But many of the people in the pews refused this narrow view. When the minister preached about how the covenant, the very love of God and the love of the people, was reserved for the elect, the people heard something different. They heard the offer of covenant extended to all who desired its embrace. Eventually, this generosity led to a different church, a church with doors held wide open, our church. And it is this spirit that I imagine speaking to our leaders, saying, remind us how, for all but 5 minutes of our history, we have been the wrong people. Help us to identify, name, and invite all the wrong people who may, in fact, turn out to be right. Show us those who need our invitation to participate in a whole and holy humanity. May your leadership be one of radical hospitality and inclusion.
Well, once again, Happy New Year. How was your 2025? You know, have you seen the memes floating around that says, thank you for the 3-day trial of 2026, but I'd like to return it for an older model? We can't control everything that goes on around us, but we can control ourselves. So is there anything you want to leave behind from 2025 or from even further back? You know, I'm not one who's really big on New Year's resolutions. Any day can be a new year. But for some people, they're very helpful. Did anybody make any New Year's resolutions? Yeah. Okay. A few of you did, a couple. And we heard from Dave D. that he's already set an intention for 2026, right? So, you know, sometimes we can do that. Now, you can do that at any day, but January, when we're talking about the new year and starting things off again, it's not a bad time to look at that. And I have to tell you, January has never really felt like the beginning of a year to me. First of all, I've spent more than half of my adult life in college. Yes, I am one of those weird professional students. I freely admit this. There's a lot to learn out there, you know. So the school year never started, well, my last school year started in January, but that's a whole different, most of the time it doesn't start in January, it starts in September, right? And also, I'm a transition minister. I'm an accredited interim minister. For the last 11 years, I have been serving in transition ministries, most of them being interim ministries. So January is not when I'm packing up my house and moving and starting again. That's July and August, right? Nevertheless, it is the time, the traditional time of year, that we stop and take a look at things. And frankly, it's conveniently falling at a good time now for this congregation, is it? Because next Saturday, we're going to start on a history project. So have you read about that yet? Did you see it in? Next Saturday at 1 o'clock, we're going to meet in Scott Hall and start looking at the stories that you have of First Parish and, you know, really go through our history. Now, I know we have a historian and we have an archive, right? Yeah, and that's important and that's going to fit into it. But really, this is about you telling the stories that you remember and maybe bringing things that will be useful for the archives. Why are we doing this? Well, it's good when we move, and we can think of this congregation as being in transition, right? You're moving from one minister to another. I mean, you're staying put, and the ministers are moving, but there's movement in the congregation. Yeah? Can we accept that premise? Okay. So when you're moving, it's good to unpack things and look at what you're carrying along. Has anybody here ever heard of doom boxes? Yes, doom boxes. Didn't open, only moved. Oh, yeah. The boxes that go with you from one place to another. Now, let me tell you, for several years, I served congregations, for 6 years, I served 4 different congregations in the DC, Baltimore metro area. And so I stayed in my house in Arlington, Virginia, the house I had lived in for 20 years, 22 years. And then in 2019, I decided it was time to sell that house and move someplace less expensive. And that's why I didn't buy a house in Framingham. So I had to unpack 22 years worth of stuff in this the house we'd raised our children in, the house where we'd been foster parents, the house where we'd accumulated so much stuff. Because I really did not want to move all that to where we landed in Pennsylvania. I say we, my youngest daughter moved with me. And I discovered a lot of stuff back in the recesses of the basement and in other places. Oh, I still have this. Look, a calendar from 1985. I don't think I need this. It might have served me then, but it wasn't serving me when I moved. And now I'm moving like every couple of years. And I have a real doom box, and I'm in danger of creating another one right now, but I'm sort of going through it. I have a doom box that moved with me. It has some important things in it, and it moved with me from place to place, and it's still not unpacked. It's been that way since Arlington, Virginia, I think. So it counts as a doom box, but it has some things that I know are important papers. I have opened it, so it's not, I did open, but I haven't unpacked it. Slowly but surely, I've been working on unpacking this box for 5 years. Why does it take us so long to do that? I think because partly everything is attached to a story, right? Some things we might not need, but we don't want to part with yet. Many of you, most of you perhaps know that I'm a widow, yes? You know, and when my husband died, I immediately gave quite a lot of his clothes to a charity that provided suits for men going on interviews, but there were certain things that I could not part with. Certain items of clothing I couldn't part with. Not immediately. And over the years, I go back and cull more pieces. And so now it's just a few items of clothing that hang in a closet in a guest room that I still can't part with, but at least I've addressed. It was hard to address it at first. But friends, it's really hard to move forward if we don't look at all the stuff we've got. I'm not proud to say that it took 2 moving trucks to move me to Pennsylvania. Part of that was because of things I was just unwilling to part with yet, that I don't need. Friends, I have videotapes. I have no place to play them. And when I move out of my house in Pennsylvania, I promise you the videotapes won't be coming this time. But I didn't know what to do with them yet. And so we're going to get started on that work here. Because we need to make space. It would have been so much better if it had just been one moving truck.
Have you ever moved into a space and from another space and then you realize, oh my goodness, my stuff won't all fit here. I can't move around. We need to make space. So what's serving us and what's not serving us? We're going to look at that. So that's what we're going to do next week. We're going to start. Now we're going to start it next week. We're not going to finish it next Saturday. We're going to start it, and then you're going to have an opportunity to do more work on it. Now we have a lot of history here. 325 years worth of history. We'll celebrate our 325th anniversary in October. In fact, today, you can go and make a vote on a banner for our 325th anniversary to put when you go to the fellowship hall, you'll see an opportunity to vote on that, and I'm going to corral a volunteer after service to help with that, to hand out the voting dots. You ever voted with dots before? You get one dot. One dot. Don't vote often, just once. 325 years worth of history. I know you don't all personally remember what it was like here in 1701. I'm fairly certain nobody here personally remembers what it was like here in 1701. If you do, you're a vampire. So, but you have stories. You have stories. If you've been here for your entire life, you have lots of stories. If you've been here for 6 months, you might still have some stories, right? What are those stories? Let's tell them, and we're going to put them on a timeline. And then we're going to see what they're telling us when we look at it. Because in order to know where we're going, what do we have to know? Where we've been. Where we've been. You know, does everybody use some sort of GPS on your phone for driving directions? Who here can read a paper map? Good on you. Yeah, it's still a good skill and good to have in backup. So, but you know when you're using your phone GPS and you're in a place that has no signal and you get in your car and you want to go someplace and it can't find where you are? It can't tell you where to go if it doesn't know where you are. We can't know where we are if we don't know where we've been. We need to know where we come from. So we're going to get our congregational GPS aligned. And if you have photos or documents, bring them. Bring them and we can include them. And if you don't want to leave the actual copy of it, we can make photocopies, right? Let's tell our stories. Let's figure out where we're going to go. Let's figure out what we want 2026 to be like. So here's a spoiler alert. The next thing that's coming after this in the spring is that we're going to do some work on what our mission is. So in order to figure out what our mission is, we need to know where we've come from, where we are now, and have some idea of where we want to go, right? It'd be good to have a mission and know why we're here. I mean, you might know why you personally are here. You might know why you're here today. But why are we here together? What are we here to do? These are things you think we can figure them out in 2026? What do you think? Nobody at home can hear your heads nodding. What do you think? Yes. Yeah, okay. One more time, just so to make sure that yes, okay. We can do this together. It's going to be fun too, right? It's going to be fun. We can have fun doing this. Once we know who we are and why we are and what we want to do, we can be the church out in the world. We truly can build the beloved community together. I have faith in you.
Namaste.
Now, stewardship of our congregation and the community beyond is also a spiritual practice, and today we're sharing our plate with Metro Worker Center CASA, and Diego Lowe from Metro West Worker Center is here. Diego, there you are, and he's going to come and speak to us, and then you will have an opportunity to give your cash or checks in the offering plates as they come around, or you may use the QR code in the pews, and that'll take you to our online giving platform. Diego, would you like to come forward, please?
Good morning, all. Thank you very much for giving me a minute. And tell me if I need to raise my voice. I'll be brief. Some of you are already probably involved to some extent or another with our immigrant neighbors. One of our projects has been to create spaces where folks can go beyond just an abstract identification with justice for that part of our community to a real engagement. But if that's something that you are interested in doing and would like to explore, we invite you. There are folks who are accompanying people to medical appointments, but probably more to the point to ICE Burlington, to ISAP here on Speen Street, to immigration court. It's a really hard thing to do on one's own. So that being accompanied, even if we don't necessarily speak much of the same language, is a really meaningful thing for folks. CASA is involved with providing food. We try to target it to the families that are where a family member's been detained or where the opportunities for work have been dramatically diminished by the fact that their construction van is a high visible target for ICE enforcement. But so we're providing food. We're trying to support folks injured on the job and with other medical needs. But I'll tell you honestly that a huge amount of the majority of my time is spent trying to get people out of detention. This week we got, Thursday there were 2 men from Milford we got out of detention. One of them had been in for 5 months, had been here for 28 years, 1 speeding ticket during those 28 years, a U.S. citizen, teenager. The kid and the wife, the mom, had been without him, both struggling financially but also just emotionally. The judge, when they finally, he'd been most recently detained in Georgia, the judge, when they finally agreed to release him on the 3rd time around, because there was really no rationale for not doing so, decided to charge $25,000 bond. It's more than 2 times what we'd ever paid for a bond before. Same day, Roberto, who we know from several years ago when he was injured on the job, we got him out. He'd been in for 3.5 months, and it was really painful to see him. I know him. He's a lovely man. He couldn't stop sobbing. And Friday, a young Ecuadorian man, father, we got out. So there are victories. We can't help everyone who needs it, but we're doing what we can do. I invite folks. We will be very grateful for whatever support you can provide, but we also invite you to engage. And they are our neighbors, they are our family. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, I'm going to suggest that whatever you were going to give, consider adding another 0 on that. We're giving a little more as you can. Whatever you give, however you give, the offering will now be gratefully received.
Thank you. I skipped right over that hymn, didn't I? I did. I rolled right over it. So let's dedicate the offering. The words are in your order of service. And after that, we're going to sing 2 hymns in a row. How do you like that? to the work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Amen. Okay, we're going to sing the hymn that was meant to go with the sermon that I steamrolled right over. It's new, and it's in your, this comes from the new online hymnal that we subscribe to called Sing Out Love, and you should have picked up a copy of that sheet music. So we're going to sing that, and then we're going to go right into hymn 350, which has a title that I forget. Thank you. The Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time. But first we're going to sing Pass on the Light. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and then we'll sing the Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time. beloveds, go in peace, go in love, go taking the light into the new year. Take what is serving us, leave behind what is not, go always in the footsteps of the holy. Amen. And now we extinguish our chalice flame. For our worship has ended, and our service begins.